Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is TVS News at 5. My name is Muhammad Yusuf, and let us begin with our top story. Now, the use of face masks outdoor will be optional starting Sunday, May 1st. In addition, the scanning of the MYSEJAHTERA code when entering a premise is no longer required under the more relaxed standard operating procedures announced by Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin on Wednesday. However, face masks is still mandated in indoor setting and are highly encouraged for those with symptoms in crowded areas such as bazaars and high-risk individuals. Under the new SOP, the maximum number of people gathering indoors will also be removed. Meanwhile, all activities under the negative list will be dropped on May 15th. Now, in recent times, many are hoping to see a further relaxation of SOPs as we adapt to live with the COVID-19 virus. So much so that the Ministry of Health has announced a new set of SOPs to be implemented as Malaysia is currently in the transition to endemic phase. But what would be the needs of the tourism sector in terms of the SOP relaxation? Joining me is the Deputy Director of the Malaysian Association of Tour and Travel Agents, or MATA Sarawak chapter, Mr. Oscar Chu. Now, Mr. Oscar, what would you like to see being relaxed that will benefit the tourism industry?
Currently, of course, from the tourism perspective, what we're looking for is, of course, an even more relaxed entry requirement, as well as having the filling of forms, having tests gotten rid of, because all of this is actually a hindrance in the planning for visitors to come into Malaysia. So like Singapore itself, they are also very quick in relaxing the SOP, which currently a lot of visitors feel that it's much easier and carefree to plan their holidays. Even as you know, in Europe itself, a lot of places have also gotten rid of the wearing of masks, especially outdoors, and having it worn on an optional basis indoors. This would actually make travel here, especially, as you know, in Sarawak itself. A lot of our tours are nature-based, so not wearing a mask in any of the outdoor areas or any of the national parks, that would be a plus point when visitors actually go on our tours. In terms of capacity itself, if the government would actually have it more relaxed and allow a larger capacity to be in venues, because we don't only do tours as a destination management company itself. A lot of our members as well, they do social events. Social events meaning gala dinners, conferences, meetings. This relaxation of capacity would actually allow a larger group to come into Sarawak, and it's easier also to close a deal with agents abroad, as well as any associations or corporate companies would want to have their events here.
Thank you, Mr. Oscar. Now, moving on, a single daily return flight from Kuching to Singapore will start on Friday, April 29th. Minister of Transport, Datuk Sri Lee Kim Shin, said the flight would be operating on a daily basis, while another return flight comprising Singapore to Miri would operate 4 times weekly on Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Sunday.
Besides AirAsia, he said Scoot Airlines is also preparing their flight from Singapore to Miri twice weekly and to Kuching 5 times every week. Lee hopes that with the 2 airlines operating the same route, it will create more availabilities and choices of flights, as well as more competitive airfares for travelers and tourists. Lee also said that in his discussion last month with AirAsia Berhad Chief Executive Officer CEO Riyad Asmat, AirAsia was urged to play a bigger role in promoting Sarawak within Bimpiaga region and other international destinations to boost tourism. Meanwhile, Lee said his ministry has also written to remind AirAsia Berhad and other airlines serving Sarawak to continue offering reasonable airfares, especially with the coming Hari Raya Aidilfitri and Gawai Dayak holidays.
Right, with the upcoming Hari Raya Aidilfitri celebration next week, the public is reminded to always be vigilant and continue to abide by the standard operating procedures. Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan, said this is because the fight against COVID-19 is not over yet.
Namun begitu, petani jangan juga terlalu leka. Apa juga SOP yang akan diputuskan nanti semasa kita menyambut hari raya nanti, hendaklah kita amalkan, hendaklah kita patuhi. Kalau tidak, merebak lagi COVID ini. Memang COVID ini belum terhapus penuhnya. Masih lagi circulating among us.
He further reminded the people to take heed of the lesson during the COVID-19 outbreak and to not let the effort to contain the virus go in vain.
Right, the Sarawak Health Department today has clarified that the COVID-19 vaccine being administered in the state as safe and that its shelf life has been extended for use by the National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency NPRA for additional 3 months. This comes as a video of Pfizer vaccine with an expired date label was circulated online recently. In a statement, State Health Director Dr. Ui Chu Huk explained that the said Comirnaty vaccine with a batch number FK9414 has been approved for extension from the original 6 months to 9 months with storage temperature between -90 to -60 degrees Celsius. He said the shelf life of pharmaceutical products, including COVID-19 vaccines, was determined based on research and stability tests conducted by the manufacturers, adding that the development of COVID-19 vaccines was less than 2 years due to the pandemic, a shorter development period compared with other pharmaceutical products. As a result, the tests conducted to determine the shelf life of vaccines are limited. He stressed that the extension of the vaccine's shelf life will only be approved after the evaluation results met the regulatory requirements. He assured that the products remain safe to be administered as long as they have not exceeded the new expiry date and that the State Health Department will not compromise on the safety of the vaccine administered. Members of the public can check the NPRA website to obtain information on a specific batch number of the vaccine at the website shown. Welcome back. Now, a 28-year-old Indonesian man was detained by the police on Sunday after he allegedly molested a 6-year-old girl in Marudi.
According to Marudi Police Chief DSP Muhammad Ruslan Matkib, the suspect was picked up by a team of Marudi police personnel after receiving a report by the girl's mother on the incident.
Pada 23 bulan 4, 2022, jam lebih kurang 4.30 petang, bertempat di rumah kongsi pekerja, kawasan Rumah Buri, Sungai Bakung, Marudi. Pengadu telah bertanya kepada anak perempuan beliau yang berumur 6 tahun, ke mana beliau pergi sejak setengah jam yang lalu. Setelah dimaklumkan bahawa anaknya telah pergi bermain dengan seorang lelaki warga negara Indonesia yang dipanggil dengan gelaran Om. Anak mengadu juga memberitahu bahawa lelaki tersebut telah melakukan perkara yang jijik terhadapnya. Pengadu telah bertindak membuat laporan polis untuk tindakan selanjutnya.
The suspect had also allegedly tried to insert his penis into the girl's vagina.
Hasil siasatan pihak polis mendapati keterangan mangsa adalah sangat konsisten dan susulan itu, mangsa telah dibawa ke Hospital Miri untuk menjalani pemeriksaan perubatan pada 24 April. Sementara itu, suspek telah berjaya ditangkap oleh pasukan anggota polis Balai Polis Beluru pada jam 12.15 tengah hari di hari yang sama. Suspek telah dimasukkan ke dalam lokap Balai Polis Marudi untuk siasatan lanjut dan ditahan selama 14 hari di bawah Seksyen 14(a) Akta Kekanasan Seksual terhadap kanak-kanak dan juga di bawah Seksyen 6(1) Akta Immigration.
The case is being investigated under Section 14(a) Sexual Offences Against Children Act 2017 and Section 6(1) subsection C of the Immigration Act 1959-63.
After 11 years of back and forth appealing for the exemption of a death sentence towards 34-year-old Malaysian-born Nagaintran Nagan Dharmalingam, he was executed earlier this morning at Changi Prison in Singapore. The case had gained international traction as Nagan was previously assessed by a medical expert to have an IQ point of 69, a level that indicates intellectual disability. The deceased was charged with attempting to smuggle about 3 tablespoons of heroin into Singapore. Present to confirm Nagan's departure was activist Kristen Han, who is the coordinator of the non-governmental organization Transformative Justice Collective, who was waiting outside the prison for Nagan's brother, Navin, to identify the body. Prior to the execution, a Singapore court rejected the final appeal by the Malaysian mother, stating that Nagan had been given due process in accordance with the law and had exhausted his rights of appeal in almost every other recourse under the law of Singapore. Nagan's case has also sparked criticism from the European Union (EU) and United Nations (UN), who called for the execution to be halted. On Tuesday, Singaporeans held a vigil for Nagan with messages of protest such as "Protect Tamil Lives" and "Stop Killing Our People." And that's all the time we have for TVS News at 5. My name is Muhammad Yusuf. Have a good day ahead.